Welcome back to our industry dialogue series. I am Pragya Mishra and I'm the EVP of Customer Success and Operations at Courseplay. Courseplay is a 360-degree employee growth platform. I would like to invite Nisha Karkera, a strategic HR leader with over 20 years of experience in talent acquisition, development, and engagement. Nisha is currently the head of talent management and training Academy at Skoda Auto Volkswagen India Private Limited. Hi Nisha.
Hi, nice to see you, Pragya.
Same here Nisha, super excited to learn more about today's topic. How do you think this mentoring has benefited the strategy of the organization? And a part of my question will also be related to gamification. But let's talk about mentorship first.
Okay. I think mentoring is a very underrated concept, to be honest, Pragya, because I think right from time immemorial, we always had somebody who was not our direct manager who was supporting us. Even in early days of career, you found peer learning, you found someone who could sit next to you, tell you what to do, and more or less he was never your manager or she was never your managers, but we never called them mentor, though that word was really not used. But I think having a mentor is super crucial in an organization, and I think these kind of mentors, when you start building that culture around where everybody starts having someone as a mentor, you also see a lot of ripple effect. First of all, these mentors also have their own mentors, right? Because they are at some point also, and then they also have their own mentors. So I think slowly and steadily there's a lot of camaraderie that builds in. Also, breaking the silos has worked for us, because somebody from production in my organization would have a mentor who's from sales and marketing. All this while, perhaps he never knew what's happening at sales and marketing, and suddenly he has a different perspective, and vice versa as well. When a sales and marketing gets somebody as from finance as a mentor, he or she also tries to understand and look at it from a different perspective. So I think the mentoring overall helps breaking the silo. So that's really important. And like I always have felt, it's an underrated concept. And second, it also kind of slowly and steadily creates a support group, because I would want to have somebody who gives me a very neutral perspective. He's not my manager, he's not my reporting head, he's not my director, he doesn't have any vested interest. He's only interested in my well-being. And that support group, I think, is really crucial in today's world when we are talking about stress, about, so many other aspects. So I think that part of it also comes in. It's a very understated impact of mentoring, but it's crucial.
Yeah, this point is a food for thought, because now that I think of my career trajectory, I'm actually realizing that most of my mentors did not benefit directly from mentoring me. And when you know that you are not directly responsible and it's not a task, is when people address it better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that was a wonderful.
If time permits, I just want to share something with you. So for me, in our organization, we have a program called Empower Her. This is specifically a part of the diversity initiative, where whoever were the probable leaders, women leaders, were given mentors who were senior mentors of the organization. Typically, these mentors were board and directors. So I can't thank my mentor enough, because what I really understood, so many other perspectives that perhaps you also miss, like, when you have a person who's much senior to you as your mentor, he also gives you a wider spectrum of perspective, because other than that, you're always thinking about yourself. When you talk to your manager, he's talking to you about your KPIs. But when you talk to your mentor, he or she is giving you a perspective that's much beyond your day-to-day work. And I cannot stop thanking my mentor, because he gave me so much of perspective. And thankfully, he is the CFO of the organization, and I was lucky to have him as my mentor, because he also started giving me perspectives of how do you manage a P&L? Small thing, yeah. That time I was not a head of department, but just because of that thought process, you start realizing that, okay, to lead a department, it's not just about X or Y competency. It's like you're running a small unit on your own. So I think mentoring is important, and it's important that we realize how crucial it is in building culture.
Yeah. And I think this also links to the first point that you made about what's in it for me. It's not just metrics. It's not just numbers.
Yes.
So there's way more. It's way beyond that if the mentor is involved.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yes.
This was really, really interesting. So a part of the question also will also revolve around gamified learning. So, a part of is mentorship and the second is gamified learning. So in your opinion, what role do you think this plays in creating strategies for the organization?
I think it's a buzzword, honestly. This is my opinion to start off with, because I think we, all of us as organizations, did this bit. I don't know from when. It's just that very recently this word has got evolved, and everybody is talking about a gamified version. Earlier, maybe we called it simulation or something else. So I think it is okay. When you ask me that how important it is, I think it has its own merit, but I wouldn't say that that's something that should become a huge part of the training strategy. For me, when I see gamified learnings, I think it is, it could be used to get participation. It could also be used to get involvement of adult learners, because a lot of times when you're just doing a method where they are not involved, it also just slows down the learning process. So I think when there are games, it's interactive, people become a part of it. But let's not give it undue place, in the training strategy. That's my at least feeling. Very recently, what I would typically do is that if it is something to do with business, if it is something to do with teaching some skills which are required to run a business, etc., I would use business simulation, wherein they run a company, they play around and see, maybe something that is digitized, and then you see that how could they run a company, etc., etc. But am I going to just use this for every program? No, I don't think I do that. I don't want to do that. Also, I want to keep that reserved to few aspects only. And like I said, it to me, a lot of times it sounds like a buzzword, but where you need engagement, you use it. So just to give you another example, very recently we did a program where only Legos were involved, the Legos that our kids play with. So we did that program for about 4.5 hours, and it was for I wouldn't say the most senior leadership, but somewhere between middle and senior leadership. And it worked fine, because there was something else. We were trying to work on the topic of strategy building. And instead of getting them to do a very clear, program, we tried something like this. And this was useful. But like I said, I will use discretion when I do something like this.
Understood. So your point here is that anything that is out there needs to have a specific use case. You
Absolutely.
cannot use it for the sake of it, just because it's out there, be it ChatGPT, be it gamification, be it any other point. Completely makes sense.
Yeah.